Wondering how to turn your dreams of entrepreneurship into a reality? Take the mystery out of success, clear the fog of failures, and use speaking to create a six-figure business. Learn the success strategies of international speaker and business coach Katya Ravi. Learn business from brave to rave.
Bonjour. Katya Ravi with Ravi Strategy Studio. It is another gorgeous Monday here in North Carolina. The sunshine is definitely out, and my gosh, I needed it to be out. I just got back from the Bahamas, and the weather was absolutely gorgeous there. We had sunshine. Granted, I didn't see too much of it, and a lot of wind, and it was really a cool experience. I was there to do a workshop to really advance the writing of the book and the outline of the book, and I am so excited to announce that it's doing really well, and that week in the Bahamas was a lot of personal growth, a lot of professional growth, but really a lot of things kind of came down to what I want, what do I believe in, what are the things that are really truly important to me, and who do I want to surround myself with. And I think that's really truly what really made the book, the outline of the book, so easily to write. When we are clear about who we are and what we want, what we believe in, when we can really be clear in that, I feel like there is a power of really being able to advance, because now I'm not juggling on any decision, or I'm not juggling on wondering how is this, how do I feel about that. It's very clear. This is what I believe, this is what I know, and I do believe then when we have those qualities, we are able to be better people, better coaches, better parents, really better everything, better partners, better spouse, and so on and so forth. The part that I thought was going to be challenging about the book was obviously the writing. I was so scared to write, and one of the beautiful tools that I discovered, and maybe most of you guys know it, was Grammarly. And not the free version, but the paying version. So I went ahead and invested in that because I knew I really, I need the help in this area. And got Grammarly, and I was so surprised how great it is and how much it's helping my sentences, and what I'm learning from it. It's just not correct. It's not correcting it automatically. It's telling me what I need to do to correct it, and I need to do the work myself. And that is, for me, that was, I feel like I'm learning. And when I learn, I absolutely adore that. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about today is, are you an influencer? Do you influence the people around you? And the reason actually for this is truly what came out of the Bahamas, is what really is the book going to be about? What is the book not going to be about? Who will read the book? Who is it for, and who is it not for? And I really found my voice of, a lot of time I felt like, I don't want to be too harsh, and I don't want to be too soft. Or how do you find really your voice and who you are? And it was interesting when I wrote down who the book was not for. When I wrote that little part on my journal, I was really strongly, I don't know how to say it, like the words came out strongly. It's like, hey, if this is who you are, you really don't want to pick up that book. And I think that kind of set up the tone for the rest of the book, because that's kind of how I am in some ways. I had an interesting conversation with my fiance yesterday, and a lot of things for me are either they're white or either they're black. I really don't have too much of the gray area. I think gray area is really for people who are not sure of anything. They want to find ways of still getting their ways, but not making a decision one way or the other. And that is so not how I am. And that kind of came up yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, I am really like, things are really white and things are really black, and there is some kind of tiny gray areas in my life, but not many. And when I know where they are, I want to fix them. So that was pretty cool. Going back to Bahamas, the one of the things that I thought was very interesting in the resort was there is a reason for everything. So this is the perfect example of how sometimes we talk, and I had this entire podcast finished and it stopped at the Bahamas pool. So let me go back to that story and let me finish. So yeah, everything closed at 5:30. That way people can end up back in spending money, which from a business point of view, this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So they close the pool at 5. That way you can be inside the casino by 5:30 and spend money. Or you can be in the restaurant by 5:30 and spend money. Or at the bar drinking and spending money. Or at the mall. Yes, there is a mall in the resort, and spend money. And I just thought it was very, very, very interesting on how the whole resort kind of really took over. There was nobody in that park, nobody in the pools, nobody at the beach. Everybody was just inside. And this is, it was with a bunch of other people. This was a conference, obviously, where we talked a lot about, the book and the premises of the book and what are the chapters going to look like for me, and what do you want the book to be? What do you want the book not to be? And that was, for me, that was very important. Who the book was not for was as important as whose the book was for. And I really realized that the book is really going to be an extension of my speaking. It's an extension of my speaking. People are going to come, probably listen to the talk, and are going to be interested in my style or in what I say or how I say it, and then want to buy the book. And that's kind of pretty much. I want to talk about the fact that I went to this resort and actually did not spend any money, not a penny in that resort. And I could have, honestly. But for me, I wasn't on vacation. And my business, obviously, was paying for the trip. And just because the business is paying for the trip and it is tax deductible on some things, but we don't get the full amount. So, having like meals then when the food was not even that great for about $100 a day is definitely not worth it. So this is what I did. I paid the $30 one way and obviously the other way to check out a huge suitcase, went to Trader Joe and had a suitcase full of food. And I know a lot of people are like, really? Like you definitely can afford to buy. Yeah, I can afford to buy food there. Did I want to? Definitely not. The food was so expensive. And I knew it would be taking a look at the menus. And I didn't feel like the food was great. So really eating unhealthy while I'm trying to concentrate and write a book on something so important as the subject that I believe in was definitely not something I wanted to do. And one of the big thing who kind of came out of the out of really that trip is, don't apologize for winning just because others are losing. And this is going to be big in my book. I came I came up with this kind of a saying with my coaches. I was telling them, this is what I believe, this is what I don't believe, and we kind of came up with these things. Then this saying. Then I'm claiming now. Don't apologize for winning just because others are losing. Really, never settle. Never settle. Because one of the things that separate people who win from losers is the mindset of always wanting more. You need to always want more if you're going to win. Whether it is in your business or in your personal life. You really are allowed to want more in your life. When it comes to your business, your health, your mind, your happiness, your spirituality, your parenting, your marriage, it's okay to want more. It's okay to want to learn more. Because you see, yes, it is a mindset, but who do you learn from? If you are going to be a person who's going to become an influencer, you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are not. You have to know what you believe, what you don't believe. In any way, any setting that you can put me into. Because I know what I believe and what I don't believe, I am very sure of how I need to act, how I need to be, how I need to work, how I need to be in as a parent, how I need to be as a future wife, how I need to be as a business owner. We have to become an industry expert, and whatever industry that may be. You have to learn. And who are you learning from? Who are you hanging out with? Are you hanging out with girlfriends who's always complaining about their marriage? Well, you know what? You're going to end up being the same. Or are you actually listening to podcasts and trying to find people who want exceptional marriage? And this is the same for business. If you keep hanging out with people who are not successful, who are not going to push you, if you don't have a coach, it will hold you back. You see, when we are an expert, when we have found a targeted niche, we're going to be able to share our knowledge, our experience. We know where we stand, and people will realize then they know you. And if they don't know your name, they at least know your face. They will associate it with your business, with that specific things you do. You see, when you are an industry leader, you have to think about who you are and what you stand for. And therefore, what is the value that you can offer to others? And you will draw the same kind of people. Look at who's your client. Who are you drawing? And that's a big sign of what do I believe in? Because we really attract each other. Who are your clients? And I know all of these things, when we talk about influencers and mindset, and sometimes you're like, well, Katya, that's easy, for you to say because you are successful and your business is successful and now you're on a podcast. And my gosh, guys, you don't see the behind the scene. You see, I do believe then we are, this morning I made a post of you are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. And this is a quote from Napoleon Hill. And I posted it on social media this morning because I really do believe that you call the shot. You make the decision that ultimately determine the success or the failure of your business, of your life, of your spiritual life, of your parenting, of your marriage. Nobody. When you know exactly, then you're in control. Nobody can get in the way of your vision. And sometimes people will tell you, it's white or black. And you know what? You should be proud of that. Yesterday, this kind of, I was having a conversation with my fiance, and we were sitting on the stairs on our porch, and I said, with your life, it's really white or black. And yes, it is. And I am actually really, really proud of it. When there's a lot of gray, there's a lot of interpretation who's left for people. I don't want interpretation. I know the rules that I like. I know the rules that I don't like. I know what I believe and I know what I don't believe. Whether it is in my marriage, my relationship with my kids, whether it is in my business, in my spiritual life, there is so much clarity. And I think when you have clarity, then nobody can really get in the way of your vision. I know that sounds really obvious, and we go back to believing in our business, it's believing in what you sell. In our life, it's believing in what we do, what we believe in. And yes, it sounds obvious, but too many conversations. I mean, if you go on social media right now and look at all of the talk, whether you're talking about the Super Bowl, I don't even know how you call it, the Super Bowl mid show in between, between the game, and or if you're talking about politics. I mean, my goodness, people are really, really, they can take such a hard stand over politics, or they can take such a hard stand over two women, having a show on TV, and yet they can't tell you what they believe at the core for themselves, for their business. I mean, how weird is that? Today, I really want to leave you with this couple of thoughts. It's you really need to hustle. You have to hustle. You have to do the work. You have to grow. If you believe then your business is not where it needs to be, then what are you doing about it? You have to take a different step if you want a different result. And many people are like, well, you don't understand. I don't have the money. All of those are excuses. You're scared. You're scared to take a step was very different. You see, the truly successful businesses, they develop really meaningful relationship. The quality of everything you have in your life, whether it's the quality of your parenting, the quality of your marriage, the quality of your business, is really a direct reflection of the quality of your relationships. I'm going to say that again. The quality of your business is the direct reflection of the quality of your relationships. Guys, if you want to grow, if you want a business who's going to be making money, what are you doing about it? Invest in yourself. Do something. Do something different. Interview people out there. Don't just sign up for, whatever first thing that you saw online this morning. Make some wise decision about it. And this is how we're going to finish the day today. I hope then you will go ahead and subscribe. Please leave us a review. Guys, the more people who review the podcast, the more we will have subscribers, obviously. And go ahead and share it with others and post it on social media and tag me. And with this, I hope then you have a good rest of your Monday.